Yo, what's poppin'? It's Tommathan, and we have a lot of roster moves here. And I believe the deadline for extending options is over now, so everything should be said in that regard. And it's just a matter of teams releasing it and Overwatch League releasing the full list and all that, and then we can really start getting to the who's going where kind of talks. But for now, Philadelphia Fusion, Carpe, gone. He is now with T1 Valorant. The leaks were true. I don't know if he was going to find a place in the Overwatch League next season anyway. Like, realistically, he didn't really have a great season. He's been kind of outclassed recently, but this is still sad to see. One of the greats of the game. You can still have the argument that he is the best player to not have won anything, like consistently. He was been right there for so long now that it's crazy to see him finally not there. One of the OG season one players retire. Not well. I guess he's not retiring, but he is retiring. Like he's leaving. So basically a retirement. Um, but yeah, hopefully we'll see what he does with T1 Valorant. I don't follow Valorant that much. I have no clue if he will be playing or if he'll be the sixth man or whatever. Maybe if anyone of you follow Valorant, you can let me know what you think's going on there. But this is like the end of an era for the Philadelphia Fusion, right? He's been the consistent rock, and now he's gone. But Philly also made some other news. They have released Aim God, Belisria, Fixa, and Fury, but they are keeping MN3 and Zest. So the biggest surprise for me is Belisria. I thought they would probably keep him around. I thought he was pretty good on the Wrecking Ball. On the Winston, he was all right. I think that his Winston in the playoffs kind of wasn't as good as I had hoped, but his Wrecking Ball in Midseason Madness was definitely good. But so I'm a little surprised, but I don't think it's the end of the world. I think that you can find better. I think that they'll be able to replace him fine, and it's okay. Aim God, Fixa, no surprises there. Maybe the worst backline in the playoffs, as I said. Like, it's just get rid of him. You know that was perfect, and then getting rid of Fury also makes sense because he didn't have the greatest season. You know, his Junker Queen wasn't that great. His Zarya had some. His Zarya isn't what it used to be, and like, we didn't really get to see him on the Diva. So maybe his Diva's still elite, but I think getting rid of Fury is also a more than respectable decision. You know, I kind of hope that Fury finds a job. I think Fixa maybe will be able to. Maybe he goes back to contenders for a little bit. Who knows what Fixa does because he has some potential, but I don't know. And Aim God, I don't really have high hopes for Aim God. So, but Philly, building around MN3 and Zest is the correct decision for sure. These two are going to be crazy next season. MN3 specifically, I have huge hopes that MN3 is going to find consistency, and Zest already had the consistency. Like you're starting off with a really solid core, and you just find a good tank to build around. You get some good supports, and they're big chilling. So very good from the Philadelphia Fusion. Now, Shanghai Dragons. They have straight up revealed a lot of this stuff. So you can't really see it, but you can kind of see it here. Void's contract is gone. He's also retiring. Fate, they declined Fate's option to extend. Fleta contract expired. Lip is still under contract. God bless Lip is still under contract. That's what they need. Who are used contract expired. They exercised the team option for Li Jiagan and Izayaki, and they declined Bebe's option. So, a lot of players gone, but you're keeping Lip, Izayaki, and Li Jiagan. I think that's fine. Li Jiagan, I was on the fence if you want to keep him, but I think it's okay to keep him. Izayaki and Lip, you definitely wanted to, though, for sure. In terms of where these players go next, don't know if Bebe finds anything. Who are you should be able to find something? Probably the best Genji in the league. So even if he's not your actual starting flex DPS, assuming he's relatively cheap because he only plays one character, so he should probably understand that his value isn't super high. I think a good team could probably pick him up on the side. Maybe I said it. I don't know. You just someone can pick him up on the side. Fate, the Wrecking Ball was all there really was. I don't think he's good enough to really be on like a super team anymore because his whole playstyle is like minimal resources requirement, very supportive kind of player.
And the question is that playstyle really valid in Overwatch 2 from what we've seen this year? Because you think about it, none of the tanks have really been like that. They're a lot less about the team oriented because you don't have another tank with you. You don't have all that stuff. I guess you could say they are in some aspects, but it's like whenever you think about that, you think like, oh, maybe Smurf is supportive because he can play everything. But Fate can't do that. Fate can play the main tanks. That's it. He's not going to go over to the Zarya or anything. So I think there is potential for Fate to still be in the league if he wants to. But with all these new main tanks coming up, all these hyper flexes going around, he's not the same caliber of player relative to everyone else in the league that he used to be. And that's kind of similar with Fleta, except he just kind of fell off this season. I don't know why. His Genji wasn't as good as well. You have Who Are You, so his Genji didn't need to be good, but his Tracer was not up to par. He just didn't do anything. He wasn't dying, but he wasn't damaging. He did get it together a bit at the end. I will be honest. His Tracer was better towards the end there, but you expect him to be good from the start because he's Fleta. I could see a team taking a chance on him because of how recognizable his name is. If he can maybe figure out how to adapt properly, but he's not going to be MVP level like he has been. He won't be there. But it's kind of an end of an era for Shanghai as well. You know, Fleta's been there since season 2, right? Unless I'm crazy, I think it's season 2, or maybe it's season 3. It's one of those seasons that he came from Seoul. Just crazy. End of an era for Shanghai in general, letting go of all these guys, not just because the Fleta's gone, but like the best team in Overwatch 1 ever. Dismantled. Couldn't get it together in Overwatch 2. Void, of course, we knew about his retirement for a while. I don't know if he was going to be able to make it in the league either anymore. He just doesn't seem to have the playstyle either. It's just weird that these players, so storied, so good in Overwatch 1, just not able to get it together in Overwatch 2. It's just crazy to me. But I like their core. I think Shanghai's moving in a good direction. I think they should have some dollar bills if they want to build a new roster. I don't know exactly how much they're willing to spend, but this looks like a very expensive roster. So if they're willing to keep that investment up, I think they'll be okay. And then we have another team, 2 more teams to go. Paris Eternal. They have released JMac. Or the mutually parting ways with JMac. That's fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't think this is a big surprise. It's hard to say how much he did and how much he didn't do on Paris because Paris sucked as a coach, right? But I don't know. I think he'll be okay. I don't know if he's going to get picked up. I don't know any of that. It's hard to tell with coaches. I don't think there's too much like hype around him, but who's to say? Wub also gone. I'm not surprised there at all. He seemed to have a pretty rough season. There seemed to be some behind the scenes stuff too, not just with his gameplay. That's always sucks. But he just didn't feel like he's quite an owl level talent right now. And I don't know if he will be, unfortunately. I'm a Wub enjoyer. I've been harsh on everyone on Paris this season, but I just don't know if the talent is there for Wub. We'll see. Crawley's gone. I don't think anyone should be upset about this either. It's like, sure, he was there. I don't know. It's just no one should be surprised by Wub and Crawley. I'm surprised there's not more, to be honest. I'm would have expected more releases, but whatever. Maybe they're still running it. They said they were going to run it back at one point. I don't know if they're going to continue with that. But now, final team, Boston Uprising. Faith is gone. This one is a little surprising. For me, I didn't really care if they kept Faith or not. I feel like you can probably find better main supports if you need to. But no idea what their goal of this team is moving forward. I think Faith kind of was good. It's hard to tell because he was on Boston. But I think he's good enough to be in this league still. But it's a main support. Who actually knows what's going on with main supports, man? Hard to tell. But I'm a Faith enjoyer. I think he's pretty good. And I'm slightly surprised. Then you have Itzel gone. Absolute cancer on this team almost. Like, it just felt like he couldn't get a win, and he was stealing playtime. He shouldn't have been played. He goes on the 2-way contract with Uprising Academy, but Uprising Academy is gone right now. So, whatever's going on there. But Itzel was not coming back to the Boston Uprising. There's just going to be no way. And then finally, MCD, the racist is down. Let's go. Hopefully he doesn't find another job
I don't think he's good enough to find another job anyway. Who actually wants MCD on your team? Like, who cares? Why would you want MCD? There are better options that are better people. So, no remorse here at all, and that's all the announcements. A lot of them, I'm sure, as soon as I release this video, we'll get 3 more teams going off. I'm sure Toronto will do something. I'll be sitting in the grocery store, and the Toronto will release the whole roster or something dumb like that, and I'll be like, bruh, drop to my knees in a Sobeys. But we'll see what goes on. But anyway, let me know on all your thoughts here. Philly, Shanghai, Paris, and Boston. What are they doing moving forward? Where are these players going? Do you agree with these drops? Thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe if you really like it. And deuces.